Are you in the beginning stages, planning for your next guitar build? Or maybe you're already into your build, but there's still a few materials and supplies that you need to find. If that's the case, then this video is for you. I'm Jeff, you're watching Home Built Workshop. Stick around. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Home Built Workshop. I hope you are doing awesome today. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time doing a lot of the design work for the latest guitar that I plan to release for Haley Guitars. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a bass. Since I'm getting very close to finalizing the design, I'm beginning to think about different things like pickups and hardware and different materials that I'm going to need for this build. And it kind of got me thinking about the wide array of suppliers that we have available to us. If you've spent any amount of time searching the interwebs for parts for your guitar project, you'll know that there is a myriad of different places that you can order supplies from, whether it's tools, hardware, templates, lumber, all of that sort of stuff. And really, it's sometimes hard to tell what's your best option for ordering. And that's really what sparked the idea to make this particular video. My goal for this video is to give some suggestions of some different places that I know and trust to get certain supplies from. But where I really want to focus for this video is down in the comment section. I want to hear from all of you, no matter where you are in this great big world. I want to hear your experiences, your recommendations for different supplies like lumber, tools, hardware, where you like to order things from, places you know and trust. I think if we're all able to contribute some of that information, maybe we can help build a kind of a database of references for people that are looking for different supplies, materials, hardware, all of that stuff. So I'll go first and get the ball rolling for this list. Remember, this is not going to be an all-inclusive list. I know there's going to be plenty of other places to order things from, but just to kind of give you a general idea as you're thinking about your favorite supplier to put down in the comment section. A quick disclaimer, any and all of the companies that I will be mentioning, I have no affiliation with. I'm not sponsored by anything. I get no kickback from any of them by mentioning their products. I just feel that it'd be helpful to share the company names in case it helps you all. I just want to make it clear that I don't get anything by promoting anybody's product. These are just companies that I trust and products that I use. So let's start off by talking about guitar building related tools. Of course, most of you have probably heard of Stuart McDonald. They are a great resource for guitar specific tools. Expensive? Yes. Quality? Yes. And they have a lifetime warranty. So to me, the extra cost is worth it, knowing that if I have trouble with any tool, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get it replaced. Their customer service is great. I've never had a bad experience. But they're not the only place that sells tools. Another resource that I've ordered from before is Philadelphia Luthier Tools. They too have a wide selection of items and are a great resource depending on what you're looking for. Another one of my all-time favorites is Skyscraper Guitars for radius beams, leveling beams, different setup tools, side benders, different templates, all that sort of stuff. Skyscraper Guitars is not only local to me, but they have awesome stuff too, and definitely worth checking out. Another place I've ordered different tools from before is Crimson Guitars. They're in the UK, but I've never had an issue with shipping over here to the US, and their tools are great quality. Unfortunately, one resource that we recently lost is Luthiers Mercantile. They're out of business. If you've ordered from them before, you can't order from them anymore. At last I checked, their website isn't even up. It's just poof, gone, which is kind of unfortunate because I know for a lot of us, they too were a great resource for tools and supplies. And that really is kind of what sparked me to start talking about this because, well, one of our resources are gone. And there's been several people that have asked, hey, where do I get this particular thing from? Let's move over to things like templates. I know a lot of us, including myself, use templates to build their instruments. Now this is a set that I made for my Haley Guitars Dorian. I've ordered from several different places in the past, and I've had good and bad experiences. Now, if I need a set of templates, I'm ordering from Potvin Guitars, hands down. I believe Potvin Guitars is in Canada, but I've never had any issue with shipping. Mike over at Potvin Guitars has been great to work with. He's done some custom work for me, and I've ordered several different things from him, and they're super high quality. They're the good 1/2-inch thick material. I can't stand those templates that are made out of 1/4 inch. I don't know, it's just too flimsy, too thin. I like the 1/2-inch ones, and that's everything that I've gotten from Potvin Guitars. Another resource for certain templates is, again, Skyscraper Guitars. They have some things on their website. I would definitely recommend checking them out as well. Remember, I'm not trying to promote specifically one manufacturer. I just want to give you guys an overview of some of the different options that are out there. What about things like truss rods? Well, most of my truss rods I order from a company called Bitterroot Guitars. I've also ordered them from All Parts as well. It seems like they're about the same truss rod, if not identical, but they're a great resource. Bitterroot has tons of different options on there. I will order truss rods as well as carbon fiber rods from them. Here I've got just a couple different examples of a few different size truss rods. For my builds, I always use a 2-way truss rod. I just like having the ability to adjust the neck in either direction. But Bitterroot as well as All Parts seem to be a good resource for me for finding truss rods and carbon fiber rods. Speaking of All Parts, let's talk about hardware. Where do I get my hardware from? Well, probably 75 to 85% of my hardware comes from All Parts. Maybe even more than that, maybe 90% depending on the build. All Parts is a great resource for pretty much anything guitar related. They have everything from finished bodies and necks. You could buy all of the hardware and supplies and basically build your own kit guitar using all Parts materials. They have a huge selection of everything you could possibly want. Pickups, knobs, electronics, potentiometers, tuners, jack plates, you name it, you can get it at All Parts. Once in a while I'll run into something that's out of stock, and then at that point I'll have to search elsewhere if I really need that item, but All Parts is definitely worth checking out. I don't know about their shipping overseas, but I've never had an issue here in the US. As far as pickups go, if you want to stick with name brand stuff, I don't think you can go wrong with something like Seymour Duncan or Bare Knuckle. Those are great pickups, and I have zero issue with either one of them. I've used several different sets from both manufacturers, and they all seem to sound awesome. But I think a better option, since so many people are now winding pickups at home, are to find somebody like that you can work with to either use their stock configurations, or maybe you can work with them and create a custom wind that works for your builds. So many people are making pickups now, it's become a lot more accessible, like a lot of things, and it's really awesome if you can support your local builders by using their stuff too. So do a little research, see if you can find somebody around. Maybe you have a neighbor even that makes pickups. You can support them and use their materials. So we've talked about tools, materials, truss rods, templates, electronics. What are we missing? It's kind of hard to build a guitar without wood. Where do you get your lumber from? If you'd have asked me this question 6 or 7 months ago, my answer would have been simple. I had a local lumber yard not all that far from my home that I would get everything from. Mahogany, maple, cherry, whatever it was that I needed, chances are they either had it in stock or they could get it. Now, unfortunately, they've moved out of state and are no longer a resource for me, so at the moment, I look all over the place trying to find materials for building guitars. I don't have a great resource at the moment. Within driving distance, we have a Rockler and a Woodcraft, and chances are you can find a piece that you need there, but their prices, in my opinion, sometimes can be a little bit high and may not be the best choice depending on what you're looking for. If I'm looking for acoustic guitar materials, well, I think eBay is a pretty good option. There are several sellers on there that I have purchased from and I trust, but do your research. Sometimes eBay can be a good resource. But as far as in my area of the country, I don't have a great resource at the moment. One thing that I do kind of keep an eye on are things like Facebook Marketplace posts. A lot of times I can find people that have a sawmill. Maybe they're not mainstream, they're kind of out in the boonies or something, but they'll post a lot of this stuff on there, and I've found a few pretty good deals that way. So keep an eye on things like that, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, but if you've got a local lumber yard near you, I'd love to hear all about it. Maybe they ship. Before we wrap this up, I have one more great resource for templates, tools, materials, and that's you, or me. I have built so many of my own tools and supplies. It's a great way to save some money. Yes, it takes you a little extra time, but building things like your own acoustic guitar sidebender or your own, I don't know, neck carving jig, all of that stuff you can build yourself, and most of the time save quite a bit of money too. And for me, it's totally worth it. So don't count that out. If you can't find a certain thing, have a look and see if you can make it yourself. A lot of times, I'll bet you can. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap this up. I hope that gives you an idea of some of the information. I want to hear from you guys. I want to build a giant list of comments down there of some of your suggested suppliers. You don't have to be super lengthy. You can just say, I don't know, templates. I order from so-and-so. I order tools from here, or I order this certain thing from here. And it's going to be awesome to hear all of your suggestions. And if you want to, go ahead and let us know what country you're in. You don't have to give an exact location, but if you're in the UK, you can just say, in the UK, I order from here. Or I'm in Australia, order from here. I'm in the US. Most of my suggestions are in the US, except for Potvin Guitars, I believe is in Canada, and Crimson Guitars, which I believe is in the UK, but I've never had any issue with shipping internationally, anything like that. So hope this was helpful, and I hope that comment section becomes super helpful. I can't wait to hear your suggestions. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Now go leave your comments and suggestions down below, and we'll see you next time.